Welcome back to the Rouges. We're talking in Canada soccer and U.S. soccer. Today we're going to be talking about Canada's women's team match versus Spain and the final game of the Arnold Clark Cup. And before we do that, it did end 1-0 in favor of Spain. But there are a couple key takeaways that we're going to talk about for the game for Canada. But before we do all that, there are a couple announcements I want to cover. The first one is you probably remember me saying that there was going to be a delayed reaction for the Canada game against Germany, which they did win 1-0, by the way. And that was a good game, I heard. However, I was in Montreal, so I was able to see that, and I didn't come back until yesterday. Um, so that's why this video is being recorded late. So, yeah, I ended up staying a little longer than expected, but hey, it was fun. And yeah, that's another reason why too this video it is being late. That's announcement number two. But at the same time, what I'm probably gonna do is since these are gonna be super late reactions, I'm just gonna talk about just do a tournament summary in this one. So we are gonna talk about what we saw a little bit, but just it's gonna be a little combination of the Germany and Spain match. So we're just gonna talk about the overall tournament, right, and what we saw and what this means for the Canadian women's national team going forward, especially with the big year coming up where they got World Cup qualifiers and Olympic qualifiers in the same year. So, yeah, without that, I mean, as I said, Spain won this one 1-0, but let's go to the lineup. And similar announcements, by the way, will be made for the U.S. women's, which is going to be after this. As I mean, it's the same thing, so I'm going to repeat myself if you're interested in watching the U.S. Me recap the U.S. women's national team against Iceland in their own tournament. That'll be after this one, but right now we're going to be focusing on Canada soccer against Spain. And so for this one, we got, for the starting line for Canada, we have Kadisha Buchanan, Kaylin Sheridan, by the way, sorry for pronouncing these names wrong, Shalina Zadorski, Dion Rose, Jade Revere, Jordan Heidema, Ashley Lawrence, Desiree Scott, Janine Becky, Jessie Fleming, and Marie Yasmin Alidou. And so basically in this one, there's only been one goal, so only one goal to talk about, and that's Spain, of course. And that's Botis to Del Castro for Spain, and they do a little pick and pop, and Bati gets back and she scores for Spain, and it's 1-0, and that's the way it would end. Only goal of the match, Spain gets it, they win, and it's 1-0. Overall, we look at the stats, and the current stats say that, by the way, once again, these stats are being provided by ESPN and not Google. Last stats were provided by CBC, but today will be provided by ESPN because Google didn't have Canada women's or any of the Arnold Clark Cup games on there. So today's stats were provided by ESPN. I hope you guys enjoy. So possession-wise, 60% to 40%. Spain had more possession. Spain had a lot more shots in general, 14, but only one of those were on target, and one found the back of the net. While Canada had 7 shots, but more on target, and none of them found the back of the net. 12 fouls to 6. There's a lot of fouls from Spain. 2 yellow cards apiece, no red cards. 3 offsides apiece. 3 corner kicks to 4. Canada had a little more corner kicks, and 3 saves to none. But given that shows that Canada's shots all on goal they forced Spain to make good shots. They're good saves, so kudos there. And then finally, we got to look at the overall table. And before I know, after the Germany game, Canada was first. However, things have changed since then. But your final table and your final winners. So it looks like England has won their own tournament, as them and Spain, despite having the same amount of points, looks like England had more goal differentials. It looks like, I'm assuming. But yeah, they had 1 win, 2 draws, and they finished first. Spain finished right behind them with 1 win and 2 draws as well. But as I said, probably goal differentials was the tiebreaker for this one. Canada finished third with 1-1-1 all across, so 1 win, 1 draw, 1 loss. 4 points, so not far behind. But if they would have beaten Spain, they would have taken first. But it's all right. That's not what the tournament was about. And then dead last was Germany, which was a shocker for me because Germany was number 3 in the world in the FIFA rankings, although we all know that people say FIFA rankings don't mean crap, right? Which you can kind of argue that in this case, as They had no wins, one draw, and two losses. So yeah, I mean that's your final Arnold Clark Cup standings, and that's pretty much it. England wins their own tournament, and yeah, we'll see how the U.S. fared against Iceland and see if they won their own tournament, which you guys probably already know, as this video is being made late. But overall, I mean, I'm gonna try and mix both aspects of the Germany highlights and the Spain. So the Germany one, that was good. Um, you know, just overall tournament summary. It was a great tournament, quality tournament for Canada. Um, Once again, this tournament, the goal of this tournament, I mean, I sure it probably was to win the trophy, but at the same time, it was just to see where you stand and just get good quality practice against quality opponents like Spain, Germany, and England. And Germany to me was a shocker because I thought Germany was going to be a challenge. It probably was, although I didn't see that one. But it was 1-0 Canada, and Canada looks like they scored pretty early too. Um, but other than that, I mean, good tournament, I should say. I mean, like I said, this gives you a chance to practice and work on and identify certain problems that you got to work on in the future. So we'll see. It's always better to do that now than have them be exposed in the CONCACAF tournament. So there you go for that. And yeah, hopefully these games will give Canada something to build on going forward. And in terms of just, as I said, it's a measuring stick games, So now you know where you stand against the other quality opponents in the world, right? Yet you won a gold medal, so you already proved that, you're a contending team. And now it's just kind of just getting good quality practice, right? See where your weaknesses are and where you can improve going forward. And that's what this whole tournament was about. I'm not going to really critique the gameplay because given that, Canada's just trying their best and it looks like they are in a transition period as there is no Sinclair, and just like the U.S., there's not really a lot of veteran players that they're calling on. So they're kind of in a transition where they're bringing young players like Marie Yavidou, and looks like players like her are going to get a chance to step up and really prove their worth and try and earn a crack in their lineup. So good on them, and we wish them best of luck, and we'll see what they can do going forward. But overall, takeaways for this tournament, just quality practice. Great to get. It's great to take a couple losses. I mean, only took one loss though, so that's good. But either way, just great to just see where your trouble areas are, right? Just see what you can work on. And then hopefully now when it comes to World Cup qualifiers or Olympic qualifiers time, you're ready to rock and roll, even though it's CONCACAF, and I know other teams that could potentially compete other than the U.S. is arguably Costa Rica and Mexico, although I would say Mexico much closer than Costa Rica, but it's just CONCACAF, and in terms of women's soccer, it's the competition, other than U.S., Canada, and maybe Mexico and Costa Rica, it's still coming, right? They're still rising. So once again, Canada and the U.S. are going to be favored to qualify for both the World Cup and the Olympics again. But, as they say, you can't just say, oh, we're going to do that, right? And just not practice or not get any tough team experience and then go in and hope to do so, right? You got to find out where your trouble areas are. That way they don't come back and bite you in the butt whenever it's time to do so. So kudos to Canada for actually playing tough teams this time. And, this is great, and provides great just learning points, So starting with England, it was a good battle there. 2 quality goals were scored. They learned on some of their weaknesses, and they used some of those weaknesses to improve on Germany. And they ended up winning that one. It paid off. So that was great there. And then finally, unfortunate luck against Spain. But hey, now you know where you guys stand, and you can take Spain as a learning lesson going forward to other potential tournaments or matches for women's soccer, especially qualifiers, which sounds like it's going to be the next major event. So I think it's going to be World Cup qualifiers or Olympic qualifiers, something with CONCACAF. Maybe it sounds like next year, a couple years from now, the inaugural Women's Gold Cup is also going to be announced too. So that's also going to be good practice. But other than that, this tournament was all about just getting experience for the top players. And so it was fun and enjoyable to watch, watching the highlights. And I'm curious to see what this Canada team does going forward, especially in big-time competition. So can't wait to see that coming. But that pretty much does it. Unfortunately, as I said, I'm not able to really go in depth as I did, as given the delays and travel, and plus my sleep schedule is all messed up too. So if I sound a little tired, that's because I am. However, I'm trying to continue just getting these videos out for you guys. But unfortunately, as I said, there will be no Canada Germany video, as that would have just been too late, and it probably wouldn't have made sense anyway, given how it would have been reacting to something that was 2 days late, and you guys already probably already saw it, so it's not really a big deal. Even this one's a little late, but hey, I mean, I still want to get something out there and just overall just turning it into a overall tournament recap. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. So if you did, make sure you like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends about it, and also tell your friends Canada looking to improve going forward into their next major tournament or competition.